Good evening, my Rosalynds and Rosikins. Mother is back, and I want to talk about why beautiful women or pretty girls they suffer and ugly women thrive. And so this is being added to my Privileged Plights series. If you really want to know the privileged plights of brown slash dark skin exoticals slash just beautiful women in general, go check that out. In this video, though, I want to talk about the fact of why it is that pretty girls suffer. So, in one of the videos I posted recently, I talked about anxiety. A lot of pretty girls deal with anxiety, they deal with low self esteem, they deal with paranoia, they deal with a lot of mental health issues, body dysmorphia, they deal with so many different things, depression. Oh my god, so many trauma, just PTSD. So many things that really mess with our mental health. Why is that? One would ask. You ever heard like that saying, like all the pretty girls are always crazy or they're damaged? Well, I believe that to be pretty in a world that is perverted, you end up being slightly crazy because of it. Because you possess beauty in a perverted world that fights tooth and nail for beauty, which you have, right? You're like a walking steak to a hungry, perverted world full of predators. And so it leads you to develop certain mental health issues or episodes within your life or seasons where you are tormented because you have this invisible but visible currency, which is your body. And that includes your face, skin, hair, all that stuff, right? And people are dying to have the same aesthetic you have. People are paying thousands to millions of dollars to have that same aesthetic you have that you were just simply born with. And you enhance it as well because your beauty you take pride in, and that just makes matters even worse. But it also helps soothe you mentally, but also causes even more torment because of the consequences of the perversion around you that prey on your beauty as a beautiful woman. And so a lot of times people wonder, well, why does a pretty girl, why is she crazy? We're crazy, okay? Because sometimes you wonder if all you have to offer is your beauty, your sexuality, right? Because that seems to be what a lot of people are mostly drawn to you for, even family in the most perverted ways, and friends. You also start to have body dysmorphia because ever since you were a little girl, someone's always been body checking you, as one would say, checking like what you eat, criticizing if you break out with acne, criticizing your skin, criticizing your hair texture, criticizing your skin tone, criticizing the clothes you wear, criticizing who you hang out with. So you have body dysmorphia, you have paranoia, because also ever since you're young, you were told to be careful. Don't act too grown. Don't look too grown when you started to take pleasure in your beauty, or you were sexually assaulted by the people that you trusted the most, or by a stranger, right? Or by friends, family, whomever, right? So it's just so many things that lead to the mental turmoil that us pretty girls go through. You also just get depressed because you realize that the world is very shallow and that people literally will hate you for no reason. People are jealous of you. People that you trusted betrayed you, all because they saw you as competition and not as an ally. And they persecute you because of it. So it's a lot that goes into why a pretty girl suffers. So then the question in regards to with mental health and the specific point I'm trying to make right now. So then the next question is, well, why do ugly girls not go through this? Right? Why are they thriving? Well, the ugly girls have delusion on their side where they're not getting the attention regardless. So they have the luxury of playing make fucking believe. They have the luxury of being as delusional as they want because no one wants them anyway. So if she thinks she's a Victoria's Secret model, even though she's built like Respucia from Norbit, people are going to say, oh, you go, girl, and keep on going with their life because obviously they have pity for this girl and they know that she needs that fake sense of reassurance in order to continue on. But when the pretty girl starts to break away from her mental chains and realizes just how much of an asset she has within her beauty, because she actually is the Victoria's Secret's model, everyone's like, oh, you're conceited. Oh, you're not all that. Oh, but you still got a pimple though. Oh, but your hair isn't like curly enough though. Oh, but you're not light skinned enough. Oh, but you're not black enough. Oh, but you're not this enough. Like all this stuff they gotta say about her. Oh, you dress like a slut. Oh, you just trying to show off. Oh, you only getting attention because you're cute. You only got what you got because you're pretty. That's what beautiful girls have to deal with. When ugly girls are able to live in their delusions, pretty girls are not able to live in their realities. And it sucks. It really does. Another thing that I want to talk about in regards to why pretty girls suffer is because they are not able to create genuine romantic connections. And I speak as someone who deals with this, right? We're not able to have genuine romantic connections because our romantic connections always end up leading back to sex in some form or fashion. And Mother knows that sex is a part of romance in the sense of some sort of intimacy, physical pleasure. Congratulations. But when it comes down to pretty girls and what we go through, it's on a whole nother level, hun. It's not just your typical boy meets girl, let's mate biology. It's oh yeah, like you cute though, like what that mouth do though. Or I envision you like in a sexual way. I've literally had people I've worked with tell me the things they want to do to me and how they've had dreams about me and things like that. Though, as pretty women, we are flattered that, you think we're hot. That's great. But when someone literally bases their whole entire romantic relationship with you on bodies to bodies and your body, it's just different. But then you have the ugly girls who don't even know what a potential romantic relationship is with, a partner because they're like invisible to society. And they understand that men want sex, right? And they're willing to do those things with men because that's all that they can offer a man because they lack beauty. It's just their womanly bodily functions. When ugly women are, like I said, given that shot, they take it. They're okay with just being the booty call. But beautiful women, pretty girls, we're not okay with that because we are used to the male attention. So while the ugly woman is happy that she got laid last night, the pretty girl is sad because that's all men want to do with her all the time, right? It's not a flex that men want to sleep with the pretty girl. At times, it's even just sickening. But for the ugly women, they thrive in a society where men reduce women to nothing but their bodies to the point where they're willing to give their cookie away at the slightest spark of attention because they don't have the luxury or the curse of having men chase them all the time. Another thing that sucks when you're the pretty girl is how you always feel like you have to over accomplish everything in the world, whether it's your career, your beauty, your relationships, your intelligence, whatever it is. You always feel like you have to be first place because people swear up and down that you skirt by because you have pretty privilege. And it makes you be a perfectionist, it makes you be extra hard on yourself, and it makes you feel very much so that you're never doing enough and haven't accomplished enough. But for the ugly girls, nobody expects that from them. They expect them to be mediocre. So whether they succeed or not, no one's caring because they're not privileged like a pretty girl is with pretty privilege, which is, as we said before on this channel, is the currency for women, is our beauty. So they just feel like, okay, well, Ugly Betty, she didn't get first place for Employee of the Month this month. Or, yeah. So, okay, whatever. But Rebecca, the gorgeous hottie, she didn't get first place. Oh, yeah. Like, let's gossip about that. I guess I guess her beauty didn't matter. I see Paul the manager picked some guy named Ernesto or something over her. Like, I don't know. I'm just making things up as I go here, Rosalind's. But what Mother's trying to say is, as a pretty girl, your failures are displayed for the fucking world. As an ugly girl, nobody cares whether you win or lose because they're not betting on you nor looking at you anyway. And so it's hard. It's hard being a pretty girl in a perverted world where the currency is your beauty and you possess it, and everybody wants that from you. They want a piece of your currency, a piece of your beauty, and they want to police your beauty. Another thing that sucks when you are a pretty girl is that your body is tea, and people try to police what you wear. Even if you are wearing something that is covering your body, is exactly because I said before, your body is the outfit, sis, right? So even if it's covering your body, you still have a beautiful sculpted frame. And so people will still try to police you for that and try to swear you're being provocative just because they're sexually attracted to you, which is not your fault. You're just a beautiful woman. But Ugly Betty could get away with anything because they don't want to hurt her feelings, even though she does look inappropriate because that shit she shouldn't be having on anyway. Example. So tell me why I'll be on Shein because, Mother's about to be having a whole shopping spree. And on Shein, I'll be looking at the reviews for clothes I want to buy. Tell me why. Like, the extra smalls look gorgeous always. But then I be seeing women with larges, extra larges, mediums, that be trying to squeeze into things that are smaller. They're not a large. They're like an extra, extra large, trying to wear a large outfit. And the dresses that they pick, the outfits they pick are form-fitting, so it looks like a can of biscuits. And I just be getting so discouraged because I'd be like, am I going to look that ugly when I put that shit on? Because if I'm about to look ugly in an outfit too, I don't want to wear it. And you want to know why? Because I see the big back wearing it. But everybody in the comments like, oh, how cute, you look great. Oh, this is so pretty. But then when it comes down to the really pretty girls that I be seeing in the reviews, they be rocking those outfits, it be damn near crickets. Sure, they get praised, but it's never so much reassurance like the bigger, not even just big girls, but unattractive girls will get because their body is not tea. So it's just things like that that really gets to Mother. And this is why I'm able to make videos like this because I understand the psychology of being a pretty girl because I'm one myself. And literally, I really be struggling, my Rosalynds, because it's just so hard. It's hard being a pretty girl in a perverted world. And, the ugly girls will always thrive in this world because no one's checking for them. But when you're a pretty girl, your mental health is at the mercy of society, right? Your well being, your self esteem. I just hate how pretty girls suffer just for being pretty. Like everywhere you go, around the corner, someone's trying to humble you, tell you you're not pretty enough, right? Tell you that you're average, when in fact you're really not. And so, and when I say that, because average girls never think they're average, I really mean it though. They will try to humble the pretty girl and tell her, oh, you ain't all that, but you really are. And the ugly girls get all the praise in the society. It's backwards as fuck. Like the most average, mediocre girls, aka Carissa Shields. Like they get all of the praise. Oh, you look so good. Oh, you rocked it. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, it's so nice. You slay, girl. Get your life. Like, but then the real Victoria's Secret model girls is just like crickets. And I just can't, for the life of me, continue to just suffer in silence as a pretty girl. This is my olive branch, my beacon in the night. Hello, winter song to you. Okay, cool. That Rosalind's, please understand you're not alone. And what you need to realize too is that the average person in the world is average. Like that's the majority, right? So when you either level up or you are already leveled up, you're going to get crucified because you're just on a higher level than others. And they're going to make you suffer for it because you have the audacity to not only be a woman in a patriarchal world, but a pretty woman in a patriarchal world. And you're not an ugly woman. You have options. You have the world at your feet. And the sense of beauty being a double edged sword, it's a blessing and a curse, right? Your highs are very high, but your lows are very low. And it's no fault to your own. And this does not mean that you should stop pursuing your prettiness or stop leveling up. As the pretty girl, you should always be outdoing your own beauty because you deserve it, honey. And you are you, and you're a goddess, and you need to continue cultivating your magic through your beauty. But ugly women, again, no one cares about them. No one cares. Just like they say, no one cares about broke men, nobody cares about ugly women. They're just there, existing. And so, of course, they're going to thrive in a world that doesn't have the spotlight on them because they're not also being criticized like pretty girls are. They're not also being targeted the same way pretty girls are. They're not also being critiqued the way pretty girls are. They're not being stalked. They're not being, as one would say, mocked, even. Like, there's so many different things we have now in this society where it's used to protect the feelings of those individuals in society who are at the bottom, where all you gotta do is complain, and then they have things like even in the comment section to protect from certain comments or mean comments. But pretty girls, because they're just pretty, we get targeted and no one's there to protect us except for other pretty girls, which the exotic space is just that, which I love. But the point is, though, is that I just find it so sad. You know, I just can't keep help but thinking about Meg Thee Stallion's anxiety song. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, bad bitches have bad days too. Like, seriously, we do. And it's so serious. And Beyonce's Pretty hurts. It does hurt. We suffer. Pretty women suffer. And no one wants to hear pretty tears. They don't want to see that shit. They don't give a fuck. But they need to. Actually, fuck it. They don't need to. We need to care as pretty women about our own tears and to help uplift one another because a lot of us are suffering. And Mother just wanted to put this video out there to help my Rosalinds and all the pretty women know that I understand. And this is why, as pretty girls, we have our own club VIP section and community, okay, gated community on God. Because we just don't have time for belugas and ugly ass women trying to tell us, like, how pretty we're not. Because, bitch, we're pretty. And also trying to gaslight us into feeling as though they know what it is to have pretty privilege because only pretty girls know what it is to suffer, not only as a woman, but a pretty woman, and also to be blessed not only as a woman, but also a pretty woman. Because when you suffer and are blessed as a pretty woman, it's different than suffering and being blessed as just a woman. It's a whole nother level, honey. And unfortunately, in this current society we have, it's those women who are at the bottom that have all of the spotlight in the sense of the voice to regulate the pretty girls. But through these exotical channels, I believe that we are changing the narrative of what it is to be pretty, along with other health conscious and skinny pretty influencers like Liv Schmidt, Carmelita Fox. They're also shining a light on what it is to not accept being average and what to do about it as a pretty woman and how to cultivate your beauty and health at the same time, along with other exotical channels that I have shouted out before on my channel. And I just really appreciate the fact that we can all agree that suffering is no fun for anybody. But in this current society and with what the plights, the privileged plights that we pretty girls go through, pretty girls, we suffer. And ugly girls, they thrive. Yeah, let that sink in. It's sad, isn't it? Oh my god, I'm not trying to be discouraging. I'm just saying. It's hard being pretty. It really is. It's so hard. So, Mother just wanted to mention that. And I'm going to say, ciao, my Roslins and Rosikins. Mother loves you.